Hello everyone, welcome back to the Gamers Digester channel. Now, we've had our hands on the Asus ROG Ally here for about 2 weeks, and I feel like I've had enough time to kind of gather my opinions, my thoughts, my recommendations, and I've had enough time with this bad boy here to give you guys my kind of comparison video between the two. What have I liked, what have I not liked, kind of which one do I think you should buy. Hopefully by the end of this video you guys have kind of formed an opinion, and I don't recommend that just off of this one video you make your decision. That's not the best thing. Of course, kind of take and choose what you think, but again, this is just my opinion. So definitely gather information from multiple sources. These are not cheap devices. I don't recommend that you just purchase this just on a whim like that. But like I said, hopefully you'll be able to find something in here useful. So first things first, I've got pretty big hands. Now for these devices, for me, there's been a clear winner. Now, I have a case on this device, which I'll be taking off here in just a second, but I feel like it's an important thing to bring up. As we speak, there are 0 cases for the Asus ROG Ally made by any respectable brand. There are some skins popping up on eBay that look a little fishy. There are some kind of rubbery ones from China that are taking about 2 months to ship. I wouldn't really trust those. So as we speak, this is not really a good climate for the Ally, as far as accessories go. Let me make that clear. So the white device that probably will yellow in a few years, that would catch all your little greasy hands, Dorito fingers, that's kind of all that we have at the moment, which is unfortunate to say, which is where this kind of takes the cake. I absolutely love how this fits in my hands. It is perfect. Everything works. The joystick placement is genius, and I love this. It makes that perfect symmetrical look. Being able to have both thumbs reach perfectly, that's incredible. Now we go to this. When trying to use this joystick, I either have to bend my thumb all the way back, or my thumb is pretty much touching the screen. This is just a smaller device, guys. It really is. You kind of have to change the way your hands are. And so say I'm holding it like this. This is how I usually hold it. Let me show you. My fingers, I can't click. I can't really click those buttons. I have to like curl my hands in like that, which is not how I play it. I hold it like this. So I hope that makes enough sense. I know that was a little unorthodox and weird, but hopefully that makes sense. They are just 2 different size devices. They really are. This is a big chunky boy, and it does a really good job at fitting in my hands. Is it lightweight? Absolutely not. This thing is very heavy. Do I care? No. In my opinion, I don't think it's that big of a deal. So, oh yeah, take a look at that. Just another perk of having accessories, guys. Look at that. Oh yeah. I cannot wait. I cannot stress this, that I cannot wait for some other companies to start making accessories for the Ally. I would love to see a clear back plate for this or something. I know that the back of this already looks phenomenal. Asus knocked it out of the park, but oh my gosh, I'd love to see the inner workings there. Now, let's move on to the buttons. I feel like it's kind of controversial. My opinion is a little bit different than everybody else's, but hopefully you can kind of take it for what it is. So these joysticks are better. They just are better. Like, they feel better. Moving that around feels much more premium. And this could potentially be a $350 device. And that feels way more premium. There's a lot more resistance in this joystick than there is in this. This one, this is the biggest difference. Look at how high that sits, raised. That is sunken in. Yet, it feels taller. Like there's more room for it to move around, like back and forth, side to side. The Steam Deck's probably like this. This one, you can go all over the place. I hope that that's showing on camera and I'm not sounding like an actual crazy person, but there's just less movement out of these. They feel a little bit more tight. It just kind of feels like a more premium product, if I'm being honest. The actual buttons, D-pad here kills it, absolutely kills it. I was super skeptical. There was a lot of reviewers that were saying that they thought the D-pad felt mushy. I don't know if they play Street Fighter or games like that. Guys, that is a fantastic D-pad. I have absolutely loved it. Compared to this, say you're playing Ken or something, and if you want to do like a downwards kick, you have to press that and look at it so when you press down on this, it already depresses both of those buttons, and in the process depresses me because I'm not able to do the moves that I want to do. So you have to press both while leaving the other one up like that. And with your thumb, it's this kind of weird thing. Versus this, you push right in the corner and it recognizes. So no matter what you're trying to do, if you just want to hit a kick to the right, you can press that, down kick. You're able to do that with that space there, having that space there. Now, does it look great? Does it feel great? That's whatever. What the actual functionality of the D-pad does, it does way better for fighting games. If that's something that you're going to be playing, which I hope you do, guys, Street Fighter runs incredibly on this device. It is one of my must plays. It is incredible. It runs great, feels great. But that's besides the point. Now onto the face buttons. I think that these look way better. I honestly say that they're equal. It's a lighter, kind of mushier click, nonetheless a unique click. I have not seen another device have that style of click. It may not sound much different, but trust me, it's way different. I don't even know what to compare. I compare these. This feels like an Xbox 360. Like with the placement of the buttons and how like kind of bulging round they are. They're very round. Then compared to this, which is way flat. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Super flat. These are super flat. I have not had them catch or get stuck. Linus totally... He was like, he said he had 2 devices and the X button he could get stuck super easy. I don't know if they fixed it before it came out. I have not had any issues whatsoever. Now, the big question, trackpads. Do I miss them? I feel like it's kind of a heated debate. There's some people who absolutely love the trackpads for like RTS games and stuff. Me, I absolutely can go without them. I do not care for them, to be honest. For almost every single game that I played, they did not make sense. They were cumbersome. They took up room. But for my big hands, having them there made the device wider, which made it fit my hands better. And look at that. These line up perfectly. Like, I wish I could literally just take everything from this and put it in here. Like the screen, the buttons, yeah, they can keep the joysticks, the D-pad, all the tech. I hate Linux so much. I cannot explain it. There are just too many games that I want to play that have anti-cheat or whatever that this thing does not support, which is why I'm playing this. Speakers. These are kind of farts. I know that's like a very childish description. For what I've experienced from this, hands down, the Ally crushes it. These guys have Dolby Atmos support. I don't know if that means they're actively producing Dolby Atmos sound, but they sound fantastic. If you ever have the time, log into your Spotify, YouTube Music, whatever, take a listen. Anything above 50 starts to get distorted if it has bass, so do be mindful of that. So anything around like 35 to 45, that's where it will be the crisp, clear, nice kind of, it's a little punchy bass, but don't expect like a JBL, like Bluetooth speaker or anything, because it will not be that. But it does, for what a handheld is, they're incredible. These are a bit more lackluster, flat sounding. I feel like it was kind of like a secondary thing. They got everything else in here and just kind of threw the speakers in because, you know, like you need to have speakers for a handheld device. it seems like a lot more thought was put into these, which I appreciate because I love my music. I really do. Now, this isn't like the greatest way to listen to music, but it is a way to listen to music. Like, I'll be scrolling, surfing the internet, whatever, and have Spotify on in the background, and it's actually a pleasant experience, which is not something I thought I would be saying to you. I didn't think it would be a pleasant experience, but it honestly was. So now for the actual performance and such, I know we're about 10 minutes into the video already, and I'm still kind of just talking about the outsides. The performance is, it's hard, okay? It's hard to talk about because there is so many things that go into this. I think we might make this like a 15-minute video, you guys. I'm sorry, but this is a 1080p 120 hertz display. This is like a 720, it's like 1200 by 800 something. It's like a weird, it's 16 by 10. So it's like a different resolution that I'm not entirely sure, but it's almost equivalent to like 720. It's a little bit more higher res than that, but nowhere near 1080. So this is having way more actual juice to hit that resolution, but what actually ends up happening is the frame rates almost tend to equal out. So you trying to hit 1080p on this device and just using this device's native resolution or 720, you're almost hitting the same performance for some games, which is crazy, right? Unplugged. Because everyone gets upset at me when I say I only play the device plugged in, and that's at that point just play your desktop. But whatever, I digress. I always have the Ally plugged in, so I'm getting the max performance. But if you're just gonna play this like 15 watts versus 18 watts, it's kind of scary how similar they are. And honestly, if you don't play games that have anti-cheat or are like kind of locked by you need Windows to play them, which is, for me, it was a lot of games. What I'm coming to learn is not everybody kind of cares about that. I like Battlefield, I like Destiny, I like Valorant, I like all these games that I want to be able to maybe plug a mouse into and just play on the go for like a fun little novelty almost. But I guess I'm weird for that. Not everybody feels the same way. So that's why I ended up buying this device, and I can't go back, unfortunately. I love my Steam Deck. I don't know when I'm going to use it next. There are so many things that this thing did right with the actual design, the weight. It just feels like such a premium product. There's just enough things with Steam that I didn't like that I purchased this. Now, if you're on the fence between the two, the main thing, what games are you going to play? If you want to play Call of Duty, I know Call of Duty's in a bad place right now. I know that a lot of these first-person shooters aren't the funnest, but if you're anything like me, if you grew up playing those games, there's something nostalgic about playing them, and I respect you, and I hope no one makes you feel dumb for wanting to play those games, because they've tried to with me, and it just doesn't. I don't care. I'm gonna play the games I want to play, and it just so happens not to be Solitaire or Battleship or whatever. You can get 8 hours of battery life. Well, I don't want to play these stupid indie games. I want to play what I want to play, and that's my choice. And this plays those AAA games way better. You have way more options, way more tools. Windows is just a better operating system. Linux fanboys can quiet down. I don't care. It is just less useful. I've almost never used the desktop mode on this device. It is almost useless. Here, you can actually browse the internet in a way that makes sense. And you can do other things. You don't have to choose just desktop mode. You can do desktop. Click one of the buttons on the back here that is kind of bound to Windows functions. From there, you can go kind of switch windows, go back and forth. Here, you have to choose. Do I want to be in the windowed mode and play games on Steam and have them have way worse performance? If you have one of these and you've tried, you know what I'm talking about. It's just not a fun experience. It really isn't. So I think what I would end this on, right? If I had to give you guys my suggestion for the better device, the better feeling device, and what I hope will be taken away. I like the plastic more on this. The plastic does feel better. I hate the white. I like the black. I hate the plastic on this. I like the joysticks. I don't like the joysticks on this. I like the D-pad. It really is just this stupid back and forth. It's not that there's a clear winner. It's all up to you. And I hope you take the time to do the research because these are so expensive. Now, this is the $700 device. I know it's a little bit late to say that. The whole storage thing, storage can be remedied. That's totally up to you. So I'm not even going to bring that into the discussion because for me, it doesn't matter. If you buy the 64 gig version of this, you're insane. But hopefully you'll spend the $100 to get a new SSD so you can play it just like normal. So with that, it's kind of up in the air. I wish it was a little bit more cut and dry. I'm glad that it isn't, because then that means the Steam Deck still has a reason to exist. So, honestly, Asus has more software bugs. I'm going to call it a tie. I really am. I really don't think there's a clear winner here. With the amount of issues this has, with the amount of things you can't do with this, I'd say for me, they equal out. And for the time being, I'm just going to be playing the Ally, but if I didn't have the Ally, I'd be happy with the Steam Deck. Hopefully this gave you guys just a little idea on how insane I am and give you guys a good idea on what device you should get, because it really is up to you. This is a device made for a consumer. Know what you're going to be consuming and go from there. But with that, I leave you guys to have a great rest of your weekend. It's been a long week. I really appreciate all the support. We just hit 1,000 subscribers, just got partnered, monetized. Things are looking up. I'm super excited for the future of this channel. If you guys enjoyed the video, I encourage you to subscribe and stick around because it's only going up from here. The quality is getting better. I got myself a little phone stand. Check it out. We're on the up and up. So watch out. But with that, love y'all. Have a good day.